Alright, we're here outside the Temple of Ahn'Qiraj on my rogue, and the plan is going to be to solo Temple of Ahn'Qiraj, Molten Core, Blackwing Lair, and Karazhan. These are all raids you can do really fast on a rogue, and they all drop battle pets. The battle pets right now are worth a good amount of gold, but they're kind of volatile. They tend to be going down in price generally, but you can go in here really fast, get them if you want to collect them, sell them if you want to sell them, and it's pretty good. This character is level 85. You can do this run right now in Mr. Pandaria pre-patch, or you can do it even faster when Mr. Pandaria comes out and everyone's level 90. So that's great. We've got almost all Twilight Dungeon gear. This is the only raid piece I have, this Black Fang Battle Weave helmet. Everything else is Twilight Dungeon gear, very obtainable gear. If you just run a couple of Twilight Dungeons, you can get gear like this. And then a special piece I have is the Cataclysmic Gladiator's Leather Glove. This one's also not hard to get. 825 honor off of the vendor, no other requirements. Helps my recuperate heal me a lot more. And then talents we're going, or glyphs, recuperate, recovery, hemorrhaging veins, and talents are like this with the leeching poison, burst of speed are the important ones. Now, to zone into these old raids, we have to be in a raid group, and the way you do that is you go to the group finder tool, pre-made groups, raid, start a group, give it any title you want, mark private, list group, then you can right-click your portrait, convert to raid, and go to, I like setting it to free-for-all loot, but you don't have to do that. Anyways, we're in. It's time to blast. And we're gonna blast, we're gonna go fast. Fast, fast, fast. Stealthing up, my Night Stalker talent's gonna give me a little extra move speed. And then we can just blast Burst of Speed over and over to go through here really quickly. We're gonna clear out this trash in front of the Prophet Skeram. And then do Prophet Skeram. This is the first boss in Temple of AQ, and it's the first boss that drops a battle pet. Drops the Mini Mind Slayer. So we're hoping for that one. Onyxian Drake is also an option once you've done the battle pet farming. Yeah, but you can't sell an Onyxian Drake mount for gold on the auction house. Nor can you use it to battle your friends. I think, is there a battle pet that does drop from Onyxia, though? Onyxian Drake is like the mount one. Ferg Bongo with a hat change request before we get underway here. Okay, I can do that. Let's go for, how about this one? Alright, okay, so this boss has some problems. This boss is not, like, super hard, but this boss has a mind control ability that's, like, paired with a Giga Dispel. What I mean by that is it will remove not only just your character's buffs on the buff bar, but it will remove, yeah, it just did it. All my buffs are gone. It'll remove your flasks. It'll remove your spec passives, like all the things in your spellbook, your, like, passives. It can remove those. It can remove your passive set bonuses. It's really, I don't think it's supposed to work this way, but it still does, and it's really annoying. So, the way we're gonna solve that is, like, we hit the boss and it's really slow once he does that. It's just the way it is. But after we kill the boss, we will, some people say if you just spec swap back and forth, it'll fix it. Other people say if you log out and log back in, it'll fix it. We're just gonna do both to make sure my character's, like, working properly after Skeram. Removes your subscription. You might think it does that, yeah. Yeah. Like, my energy generation is gone, my combo point generation is gone. This boss is just completely effed. Alrighty there. Prophet Skeram defeated. Let's pick up some loot. 50 gold, Scarab Coffer Key, Lord's Insignia. Unfortunately, No battle pet off of Skeram this time. So I am going to do, like I said, we're going to do both. Specs, dude, I keep misclicking. Spec swap back and forth, then log out, then log back in. There. Log out. Now we're like clear to rebuff ourselves with consumables if we want to use those, which I do. Why do you spec swap? I just explained it like 30 seconds ago. The boss is bugged, and you just have to do this afterwards. All right. We're back in. Almost. Loading screen. Wonder how long this is going to take. How long since I started yapping at the start of this raid? Start a timer. We'll see. We'll see how fast we can go. Okay. Let's hit up, this one, this one, this one, and this one. The next boss that we have to, let's see, we have to kill Battleguard Sartura, then we can get Viscidus, then we can do a little bit of trash, then we can do Twin Emperors. Enter Stealth, activate Burst of Speed. Now, it seems like you should be able to skip Battleguard Sartura, but every time I try to skip Battleguard Sartura, she just, like, aggroes me while I'm in the Thancred hallway, and you seem to actually just not be able to skip that boss, so... oh well. We'll kill Battleguard Sartura. Oh, I didn't reapply poisons yet. Okay, so let's kill these trash mobs. Back ourselves in a nice little corner here. We can hit combat readiness, Fan of Knives, and Crimson Tempest a couple of times. Should take them down. Good. Loot all of that. Deadly Poison. Leeching Poison. Okay, now we're good. Now we're good. Let's kill Sartura. I didn't really need to cheap shot that guy. Good. Boss is dead. Another 62 gold. Healing power. Sartura's might. Leggings of the Festering Swarm. Alright, lame. Stealth up, sprint. By sprint, of course, I mean burst of speed. If you want to kill Thancred, you can kill Thancred. We're just going to walk past him. We're trying to do the absolute minimum to get to all the different pet bosses. A lot of these raids you can do really, really fast, and that's what I'm trying to showcase here. Like, I can do from Zone In to Hearthstone Out, I can do Molten Core in 5 minutes, if all I'm hitting are the pet bosses. Which is, that's pretty impressive. A full run, honestly, is only like 12 minutes to hit all the other bosses too while you're there, but, you know, some of them don't drop any gold. The ones that do drop gold are only like 50 gold. So they're not super valuable. We will hit every boss in Blackwing Lair, because every boss in Blackwing Lair drops like 150 gold. And that's enough for it to be worth it to me. Now, Viscidus has, just like Prophet Skeram has his own problems, Viscidus has some problems too that you need to deal with. The main mechanic you need to deal with on Viscidus is his freezing mechanic. You need some way of doing frost attacks against the boss. And the way I've chosen to do that is to have Frost Oil and apply it to some old weapons. Frost Oil can only be applied to weapons below item level 165. So that's like basically anything from TBC or earlier. But if you're talking about Wrath of Lich King or beyond weapons, you won't be able to put Frost Oil on them. So I have some old Brutal Gladiator Slicer and Quick Blade that I used on this character back in the day. Just Frost Oiled them up. So you have to do a high quantity of frost attacks against Viscidus to cause him to freeze. So the main thing we're just going to be doing is sitting here, slicing, dicing, and hitting, and hoping our frost oils trigger some frost attacks. You're going to get emotes in the chat box saying, like, Viscidus is freezing up, and stuff like that. When you progress the stages of getting closer to actually freezing him. Then once he's actually frozen, you do a high quantity of physical attacks to shatter him. And the only thing you really need to worry about is you want to make sure you get the boss down to 1 health before you shatter him. Otherwise, you have to deal with this whole other phase and whole other mechanic that I'm just not going to get into because we're going to avoid it by getting him to 1 health prior to shattering him. Which, sometimes that's just going to happen naturally, but if you have a class that can do a lot of frost attacks, like, say, a Frost Death Knight, you might be able to freeze him really early. So it's good to, like, intentionally stop doing frost things in that case, and then just get him down to low health, then freeze him and shatter him. Why don't you use Frost Oil on Dagger? I don't have any Cold Rage daggers, if that's what you're talking about, on this character. And, yeah, I mean, maybe I could have used it on the Fell Striker, but we went over why we didn't use it on the other items, because they're too high item level. You must not have been listening when I specifically talked about Frost Oil and specifically talked about the things, or maybe I'm misunderstanding your question. There's an item level limit for what you can apply Frost Oil to. I see, it says begins to slow. That's the first stage of, like, freezing up. Unicorn of Shame. I literally just said, we don't have those other items in my inventory. So we didn't use them. I get that there are things that would be better in this situation that could take care of it better, but I don't have them right now. So that's why I'm not using them. DPS them with regular weapons and then swap to the frozen proc weapons. Yes, you could do that. But you see, with this setup with, like, only the Frost Oils, this isn't a very good setup. I've dropped him to no health before even freezing him. So you only really want to mess with, like, swapping back and forth between different weapons when you're capable of freezing him really quickly. Yeah, you could have, like, if you wanted to do really good on Viscidus and freeze him way faster, the best setup I would recommend is going to Razorfen Downs, farming 2 copies of the Cold Rage Dagger off of the last boss, enchanting both of them with Icy Chill or Death Frost, whichever one's cheaper, and then also putting Frost Oil on those weapons. I have that on my other rogue, and we can go through Viscidus much faster on that character. Okay, so we're still trying to freeze him. Not frozen yet. Then we can just, yeah, he'll pop. We don't need to do any weapon swaps. If you really wanted to min-max it, you could, like, swap into faster weapons once he freezes, because that's when you have to do a high quantity of physical attacks. And if you just have faster weapons, you do more physical attacks faster. But it's a pretty, what do you call it? Generous timer, forgiving timer. We're gonna shatter him pretty much no matter what here. There he is. He's dead. Alright. If this guy didn't drop a battle pet, we'd have skipped him. Are we gonna get it today, or are we gonna get unlucky? We are unlucky. Unlucky is the answer. No battle pet off of Viscidus either. Unfortunate. Okay, now we move to Twin Emperors. Twin Emperors is definitely the hardest one here. That people struggle with. Some classes just can't do it. If your gear isn't good, you're gonna have a lot of trouble. But we're gonna handle it. Don't worry. Back into our stealth burst of speed spam. Switch up the music. Super Smash Bros. Mix. Yeah, that's a mix that I would like to listen to right now.
Your heart will explode.
I think one of the worst parts of this raid is just that everything in the raid is way too large. It just takes... the bug tunnels are enormous, just space-wise. They take up so much space. It takes so long to move your character through the raid. So annoying. Okay, so we skipped Huhuran, don't have to kill Huhuran. We do have to kill all these Anubisath defenders. If you do not kill them, then when you pull Twin Emperors, the defenders will all aggro. And you do not want to be dealing with any extra mobs while you're fighting Twin Emperors. I've also managed to forget one of the defenders a couple of times when I've been soloing this raid. So I'm going to be extra careful and look all around the area and make sure I got all of them before I go in to fight Twin Emps. Oh, he's exploding. There's one other guy over here. That's what, 1, 2, 3. There's a 4. Corpse 5. I think this is the last one. If Sod wasn't over, would you still play Mop? I mean, if there were continuing patches for Season of Discovery and new stuff was coming out, I probably would not have made the switch to Cataclysm and Miss Pandaria. I feel like there's a couple things about this version of the game that I don't like, but I think currently for me, it's the most attractive version of WoW currently available. I really don't like that the WoW token is in the game, that you can buy unlimited character boosts. I think these are really bad things for the game. Yeah, I don't like those aspects, but I can also say that despite kind of being a Cataclysm hater, I've had more fun after making the swap over than I expected I would have. I can say that. Like, I'm definitely having more fun than I thought I would. Okay. We got Food Buff, we got Deadly Poison, we got Leeching Poison. I switched into Shadow Step. We're gonna do a couple of things here. This is a hard boss. We're gonna fight the sword guy. And the caster guy is just, we're going to let him hang back and cast Shadow Bolts at us. We don't want to get close to him because he'll do Arcane Explosion on me. On the sword guy, we're going to maintain the armor debuff via casting Expose Armor. We're going to maintain our Recuperate for healing ourselves. And remember, we got the gloves that give us extra Recuperate healing. We're going to Shiv only when we need to for extra health. It's a damage loss for us to use this, so we only want to use it when we have to, which will be pretty often, I guess. And then we're going to cycle through our different defensive abilities. Smoke Bomb, Cloak of Shadows, Evasion, and Combat Readiness, just to reduce our damage taken, so we don't have to cast Shiv as often. And then whenever the Emperors swap places, we're going to use Shadow Step to go right back to where the sword guy is. And then what's the last thing? Move out of blizzards, I guess? I don't know. Start prediction. Yeah, we'll put up a stream prediction for will the battle pet from Twin Emps drop. This one, among all the battle pets, has held its value the most. It's still about 10,000 gold on my server. Okay, ready, set. I feel like I might be forgetting something, but let's just assume I'm not and everything's okay. Just pull him back a little bit, get that armor debuff going. 1, 2, and 3. Get Recuperate going. We're good here. Getting Shadow Bolted now. Shadow Dance. We can Smoke Bomb, reduced damage taken. Re-up another Garrote right before the Shadow Dance ends. That's a position swap, so we Shadow Step over here. Re-up the armor debuff, re-up Recuperate. Our health's doing okay. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the Scorpions. The Scorpions don't do anything. You do not really have to kill them, like, at all. If you want to, just because they're annoying, you can hit a Crimson Tempest every once in a while and clean them out. But they are absolutely not a priority to kill those Scorpions and Scarabs. They largely do not matter. So, the bosses, what makes this so difficult, generally, is that the bosses heal each other. They do a considerable amount of damage to you, and they heal each other. So, if your gear is not very good, and if you're dropping your armor debuff, and if you're not, like, basically, if you're not doing good damage, you're not going to out-damage their heal. And then the fight will just take forever, because, like, if you're only doing, like, 1,000 effective DPS, like 1,000 DPS more than their heal, the fight will just take forever. They have a 15-minute enrage, they'll enrage and you'll die. You need to be doing, like, substantially more damage than they're healing for to be able to get through it. What about wound poison? Will it work? Well, it would if you could poison the boss. I didn't mention that. The guy with the sword is immune to all magical attacks and all magical debuffs, and that counts your poisons. Poisons count as a magical debuff. He's immune to them. The other guy is immune to all physical attacks. So the sword guy is effectively the only one we can attack, and we cannot poison him. So there's no way for us to use wound poison. If you're on, like, a monk, you could use Rising Sun Kick on this guy. That's like a physical attack that applies a healing debuff, and that would be great. Absolutely a good thing to do on a monk. If you're on a warrior, you can Mortal Strike him. If you're on a Death Knight, you can Necrotic Strike him, and those things all work. But unfortunately, Rogue's healing reduction does not work in this specific circumstance. Can you solo this on your DK? Yep, I can do it Monk, I can do it DK, I can do it Paladin. Paladin is probably the easiest. And the Paladin is the easiest because the Paladin just does an insane amount of damage. It does so much more DPS that the fight just ends in under a minute. You can see we're holding about 24,000 DPS. And we're taking it down gradually. We're going to get it. But we're not going to get it anytime, you know. It's gonna take a couple of minutes at this rate. The Paladin, I walked in here, I did 48,000 DPS to the boss, and ended the fight in 58 seconds. So the Paladin was able to do so much more damage than the Rogue can, that it just completely outclassed the boss's healing. There's a Shadow Dance, there's a Shadow Step, re-up the armor debuff. Dropped my Recuperate here. You can see I got all these bugs piled up, and I just totally don't care about the bugs. The bugs are just, they're not important. And we can look at the damage taken breakdown after the fight. Right now, I'm gotta focus on actually playing good. And you'll see the damage from the Scarabs and Scorpions is, you know, less than 2% of my total damage taken, probably. He's dead. It's over. Alright, let me actually look at that. I'm curious. So my damage dealt breakdown, melee attacks, hemorrhage, rupture, eviscerate, lightning strike. I don't know what that is. Is that... Oh, that's Vial of Shadows, I think. Damage taken. Kiraji Scarabs dealt me a total of 1.9 thousand damage. Out of... They were 0.2% of my damage taken. It's almost all Veclor Shadow Bolts. Vecnalash melee and unbalancing strike. Yep. Okay. Let's loot the boss before the boss despawns. Lock in the prediction. 15% believers, 85% doubters. I think it's the other one that drops the pet. So go through here quickly. Gloves of the Hidden Temple. Threat things. Circlet. We don't want that. Sometimes if they die close enough to each other, you'll AoE loot both of them at the same time. But they didn't do that this time. Okay, Coffer Key, Lord's Insignia, Boots of Epiphany. Oh no, there's not another page of loot. Bro, we are striking out on the pets today. That was not good. Okay, so that was 21 minutes in Temple of AQ. Could go a little bit faster if I wasn't explaining stuff all the time, but that's fine. 21 minutes, that's a good time. Let's Hearthstone. Let's go Molten Core and Blackwing Lair next. Those are going to be giga fast raids to go get the battle pets, or kill the bosses that could drop the battle pets in them. What do you guys think? Molten Core or Blackwing Lair first? Probably Molten Core. Yeah, Molten Core seems good. Change hat. I think I missed a change hat from Mad Max. Damage. I apologize for that. I must have been locked in on the boss fight. Here we go. Here we go. Hat changed. 3 suggestions for Molten Core, 1 for Blackwing Lair. Heat 3 Molten Core. Yeah, we could do Heat 3. That's definitely a thing in Mists of Pandaria. They did add the Sod raids into Mists of Pandaria. That's true. That's how we were going to Temple of Ahn'Qiraj here. Let's see. Vendor off all of this. And make our way to Molten Core. No way. How cool. Yeah, I know, dude. They're just adding all the cool stuff into Mists of Pandaria. Nebuchadnezzar, hello. 5 stream watch streak. Let's go. Bonus channel points. We know you're lying because they wouldn't do anything cool. Did I miss the TKs or are they another day? We haven't done TK yet this reset. You haven't missed any TKs. You did not miss the 5 Ashes of Alar that I'm going to get this week. Let me turn the music down a little bit. We're not turning it off. We're turning it down. But the music is the Super Smash Bros. Mix. It's gonna go through a bunch of like old video game themes. It's pretty good. It's just a little too loud. Alright, let me pay out this prediction. Unfortunately, Scuff, that was like 13 kills of Twin Emperors. I've gotten the pet one time. Start prediction. Let's say, how many battle pets do we get in MC? 0, 1, 2, or 3. Alright, prediction's up. I'm going to close the prediction when we get to Magmadar, because Magmadar is the one that drops the first pet, okay? This is going to be quick. 0, 1, 2, or 3 battle pets in the Molten Core.
The dark times will pass.
Oh, wait, what the hell? Where's Dukai Drax? I need to set it to heat level 3. Okay, well, I guess just the game's probably just bugged, and the heat level, we'll just have to do heat 1 instead. For anyone who's maybe not following along, that was a joke. That was a joke. There is no heat levels in Molten Core in Mr. Pandaria. Heat 0. Yeah, dude, the other heat levels, they're too hard. Okay. Oh, dog almost detected me, but I got past. Alright, turns out, you don't have to kill any of the dogs in this hallway, and you also don't even have to kill Sulfuron if you don't want to. He's kind of ugly, and he puts a debuff on me that I don't like. Alright, first battle pet boss. Magmadar. Just smoke bomb because why not? Fear. Remove that with human racial. Don't even need to press my recuperate. That's just a DPS loss, honestly. Alright. Last chance to get in on the prediction. Last chance to get in on the prediction before I loot this guy, okay? Well, we got 49% saying we'll get 1 battle pet throughout Molten Core. 26% on 0, 24% on 2. We have 1 sole believer on 3x battle pets. One guy thinks we're going to get all 3. Oh, that's a juiced payout. Look at that. 1 to 467. Okay, now there's 2. I talked it up too much. All right, let's close it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. End submission. We're immediately gonna see how the people that predicted for 3 battle pets are gonna lose because this guy's not gonna drop it. He didn't drop it. The 3s are already out, you guys. The 3s are immediately out of the game. Unlucky for the 3s. Yep, okay. That's too bad. Alright, next target is Golemagg. Guys, I already got a Thunder Fury on the account, so should we just do the ones that drop the bindings anyways? We probably should. Slow fall here. Re-stealth. Which binding do I have on this character? This character doesn't have the Thunder Fury. It's Simonize 2 that has the Thunder Fury. I forget which binding I have. So yeah, okay. We'll just do Garr and Geddon, even though they don't drop battle pets. They won't add that much time to the run. Alright, those guys are all dead. Garr is dead. Ready, set. Binding of the Windseeker. Brutality Blade. Lawbringer. Arcanist. Force Reactive Disc. Okay, well, that sucks. That's not a binding. Let's just assume that I already had Garr binding on this character. And the one we needed was Geddon. Basically, all of my characters have one binding. I have one character that managed to complete it. I have 2 rogues. So one of my rogues has a completed Thunder Fury. The other 2 rogues each have one binding. The Paladin has one binding. The Death Knight has one binding. Yup. We'll just fight Baron Geddon over here. This is a secret strategy for Baron Geddon. Not many people know about it, that you can fight him over here. While aggroing trash mobs. Even more people don't know that you can fight him while aggroing trash mobs. Aged core leather gloves, seal of the Archmagus, no binding. Cloak off that debuff, sprint. Alright, here's the actual goal. Golemagg, the Incinerator. Rupture up. Totally ignore his, like, Corehound buddies. They just despawn when the boss dies. So, no issue there. Shadow Dance, Garr out again. Put up that Find Weakness buff. Boom, he's dead. Ready, set. Battle Pet, please. Lava Core, Core of Earth, Cenarian Vestments. Battle Pet, please. Okay, the 2s are now out of it also. There's no possibility that we get 2 battle pets now. There were only 3 potential, and we missed on 2 of them so far. So now it's between the 0 predictors and the 1 predictors. Unlucky. 0 battle pets? No. It's no genre. No. That's not the kind of energy that I want right now. I want to definitely get battle pets. I think this is the only one I haven't looted. So if we loot this one, I think I get the meta achievement that gives me Mr. Bigglesworth. Because I've looted all the others. Zero pets equals shaved head? No. That we're not doing that. No. You must have misheard me. Okay, ready, set. 40 gold, Heart of Fire, Essence of Fire, Elemental Fire, Mantle of Prophecy, Lifeless Stone. Yes! Let's go! That's it. That's the Mark of Flame. Teaches you how to summon a Harbinger of Flame. Alright, the ones have it. The ones are the winners. Boom! Raiding with leashes automatically added Mr. Bigglesworth Undead Cat Minion to my collection. And I think it got me the 15 pet achievement too, maybe? 16? Oh, I must have already had that. Never mind. Alright, what does Mr. Bigglesworth do? Claw, 36 beast damage, 90% hit chance. Pounce, 25 beast damage plus 12 beast damage if the user strikes first. Creates an ice wall that blocks 2 attacks. Allied and enemy attacks both count. Frost Nova. 30 elemental damage and prevents the target from fleeing. We gotta be on our way out of this dungeon, actually. Prevents the target from fleeing for 2 rounds. Okay. While rooted, the target is chilled. Okay. Ice Tomb says launches an orb of freezing energy at the target. After 3 rounds, the ice hits, causing the current enemy pet to take 45 elemental damage and be stunned for 1 round. Oh, shit, we aggroed this thing. I was not paying attention. Okay, what's the other ability? Howling Blast. Bro, he's an undead pet, and half of his... He has no undead abilities. He has a beast ability and 2 elemental abilities. 37 elemental damage, deals 7 additional damage to the enemy team. To the enemy team if the target is chilled. Okay, so you go Frost Nova, then you go Howling Blast. And it just AoEs the enemy team. It's actually a Frost Death Knight with no undead abilities. Alright, that's cool. Yeah, that's a pretty quick in and out for Molten Core pet bosses. Now, I think I'm missing only 1 battle pet for the other meta achievement. I'm missing the Coilfang Stalker, because that one's, like, it's extremely hard to solo. You need some very specific setup, or you need to be a hunter to be able to solo Lady Vosh in Serpentshrine Cavern. Basically, the two technologies I know to be able to solo that boss is you either need to be a hunter, and you use the fetch ability on your pet. I'm not going to go into the whole thing right now, but the other one is you need to get the Argent Squire that gives you bank access and follows you around. The trouble is you have to deal with a phase of the boss where you're supposed to loot an item, and while the item is in your inventory, your character is immobilized. And you're supposed to take that item and move it across the battlefield to a different location. And normally that's done by tossing it between multiple players. That's how you normally do it. But when you're solo, it produces a extremely interesting challenge, difficult challenge to overcome. And the way the mobile bank access helps you is you loot the tainted core that immobilizes you, then you put it in your bank, and then you're no longer immobilized, and then you can go. Looterang doesn't really work. It doesn't have a very big range, and it instantly pops up the loot window, which isn't what you want. You would prefer it to be more delayed. Okay, what do I have here? Combat and Subtlety. We might die on Vaelestrasz, but we shouldn't die on Razorgore. Alright. Razorgore, the main thing that people struggle with here is they don't understand what the priority is. Absolutely, the priority on Razorgore is destroying the eggs as fast as possible. When you're mind controlling Razorgore, the only thing you want to be doing is just making sure you're pressing keybind number 4, destroy egg, every single time it's available. You do not want to be, like, every time the cooldown's up, you need to be in range of an egg and destroying it. And as long as you're quick with destroying the eggs, everything will be fine. But if you take too long, you're going to pile up way too many mobs on your character, and you're going to have problems. There we go, 21 seconds left on this first mind control here. Got this one. This one back here. Might be able to get one more. Yep, then the mind control is going to break. Re-mind control. Destroy egg again. Go up here. So, I popped out a quick AoE, little Fan of Knives, little Crimson Tempest, and then I put a heal on my character. And then just immediately re-mind control Razorgore. There. So you want to like at least somewhat plan ahead. This is a little bit not great, not that big of a deal. But if you leave like one egg in the corner of the room, it's not good because it's not efficient. You'll end up having to run all the way back to it to be able to destroy it. You want to like kind of sweep the room one time to destroy all the eggs. Okay. So, all the mobs run away. Razorgore is interested in that Blackwing mage right now. That's fine. He can conflag me, so it's good to, as soon as you start fighting him, it's good to put a recoup on yourself and start healing yourself so you don't die to, like, his stun or his conflag, which he ended up not doing to me this time, but usually he does that. Anyways, this is the first pet, and we got a Unscathed Egg. Look at that, Arcane Infused Gem. I should put up a prediction. I'll put up another prediction for Blackwing Lair, okay? There's potentially 3 pets. We already got one of them, so let me just remove the 0 option. Let's see, pay out the prediction for Molten Core. We got 1 pet in Molten Core. Let's restart the prediction. How many battle pets will we get in Blackwing Lair? Since we already got 1, there's no more 0 options, so it's just 1, 2, or 3. Hang on one second. Remove the option. Okay. The next boss that drops a pet is Broodlord Lashlayer. But the next boss that we're going to fight is right here. Let's see. We got Flask of the Winds. We got Well-Fed. We're going to get Drums. This is Vaelestrasz. Vaelestrasz has a damage check. If you don't kill him fast enough, he kills you automatically with Burning Adrenaline. Now, if you're a rogue and you're struggling to fight this, I would recommend you spec Assassination for this boss, and you use Mutilate. Even though Dispatch will be available because he starts at low health, just use Mutilate. Mutilate, Mutilate, Slice and Dice, Mutilate, Envenom, Mutilate, Mutilate, Envenom, Mutilate, Envenom. You know, get your Slice and Dice up and then spam Envenom. I guess you're supposed to use Rupture too in Assassination, but the gimmick on this fight is he starts low health, and he also gives you infinite energy. So that's why you're picking Mutilate, which costs twice as much as Dispatch. So normally it's not as good. But in this case, it's better. Oh, I need to put up... So we will probably get Burning Adrenaline. I don't think I'm going to beat the timer for Burning Adrenaline. Once you get Burning Adrenaline, you're going to die in the next 20 seconds. But you can still kill the boss. If you're really fast, you can kill the boss before he even puts Burning Adrenaline on you, and then that's great. Otherwise, you kill it in the, you know, before Burning Adrenaline kills you, and then you're able to progress through the dungeon anyways, despite having eaten shit on this boss. Are we gonna get it? Are we gonna get it? We're pretty close. Yeah, okay, we did get it. Okay, if we were a little bit slower, he'd have put Burning Adrenaline debuff on me and killed me. But now we get to do something very fun, which is we get to go all the way to Broodlord, hopefully with the Essence of the Red debuff. Which is not really a debuff, it's giving me unlimited energy, and we might totally truck Broodlord because of it. Now, as a rogue, you can just sprint through this section, and it really doesn't matter. But I'm going to show you a trick that you can do on any class to help you get to Broodlord much, much faster. I'm going to chill out right here, aggro all of these mobs, and eventually one's going to knock me into the air. I'm just standing close to the wall here. Want them to all be in front of me. Nope. Bad angle. Yeah, okay, so that was bad angle. Oh, they hit me again? Yep, okay. They were just, like, not doing what I wanted them to do, which was unfortunate. And they all kind of got behind me, too. So then it didn't, it's not going as nice. See, they're shooting me in the wrong direction. Please shoot me this direction. There we go. Okay. Step 1 complete. Is to get blasted up here. And you could just walk up here, too, if you wanted. And then we're going to hang out right here. See, this room, it has these suppression devices that put up this suppression aura. There we go. Okay, a little bit scuffed at first, but we made it work. We're now in on Broodlord Lashlayer, and we still have our Essence of the Red debuff, so that's great. We're just gonna super nuke this guy. This is the next pet boss, so if you want to get in on the pet prediction on the stream, this is your last chance. Get your points in. Get your points in, because I'm going to have to lock the prediction once we loot this guy. Oh, also, here's the thing. Blackwing Lair is a raid you have to attune to. If you haven't done Blackwing Lair before, you have to get an attunement done. Outside the instance, there's a guy called Scarshield Quartermaster. You kill him. You loot an item called Black Hand's Command. It's a quest starter. Then you do a run of Upper Blackrock Spire, and you touch the orb behind General Drakaseth. Then you're attuned. Then you're allowed to zone in. And it's another one where you have to be in a raid group. Like we put ourselves in a raid group prior to going into Temple of AQ. We're just still in the same Temple of AQ raid group. You need Upper Blackrock Spire key? No, you do not. Okay, so let's see. 52% of you think we're going to end up with only the one pet we already have. 37% on 2, and 11% Giga Believers that we're going to get all 3 of them. Okay. Locked the prediction. Let's loot him. Okay, the 3s are already out. The 3s are out. Also, still don't have my Maladath transmog. That's unlucky. Now, this raid, Molten Core, we skipped a lot of bosses. They barely drop loot and gold. This raid, all the bosses drop at least 150 gold and a bunch of loot. We're going to kill every boss in here, and we're going to walk out with about 1,200 raw gold just from Blackwing Lair. So that's going to be very good. Let's move these. There we go. Firemaw. Yeah, I mean, if you're not attuned, you can zone in through the portal inside of Upper Blackrock Spire, but for fuck's sake, if you're gonna bother running all the way to the portal in Upper Blackrock Spire, why don't you just attune yourself? Because that portal is near the end of the instance anyways. Solo double dragons? I mean, I don't think I really do any AoE damage. I don't think there's any reason for me to do that. I've not tried it on this character, but this character is not really doing any AoE damage. No, literally, I tried to zone in during the pre-patch on a character that was not attuned, and it didn't let me. Then I attuned, and then it let me. The attunement is absolutely, like, I mean, unless it was changed within the week, the attunement is absolutely still in the game. Alright, this guy puts a debuff on you. The debuff causes the boss to heal substantially whenever he hits you. So you can cloak it off, or if he puts it on you again, you can use evasion so the boss can't hit you, or hits you much less to negate some of his healing. Next is Flamegor. Flamegor has an enrage mechanic. So you can just shiv to remove the enrage, or you could just ignore it if you're pretty good, you know? I know the Molten Core attunement is no longer required. You don't have to attune to Molten Core to go into that. Alright, Stylene's impeding Skeram. What gold did we get? 89 and 105 from those. I think those Twin Drakes, they drop a little bit less gold than most bosses. Alright, Chromaggus time. This is the big money pet. The 2 previous pets, they're not worth that much. But Chrominius, that drops from here, still worth a few thousand, like 2,000 to 3,000 gold. Issue with this guy is he's going to put a bunch of Brood Afflictions on you. If you're not a rogue, you won't be able to remove Brood Affliction Bronze unless you loot some Hourglass Sand off of the trash mobs. But as a rogue, we can Cloak of Shadows them. As soon as he puts one more debuff on me, I will Cloak of Shadows. Because the other problem is if he puts too many debuffs on you, he will actually just turn you into a dragon and mind control you. Yeah, he put another stack of the red on me, so I'm cloaking. Remove those so I don't get up on too many debuffs. Got green. Damage and healing effects reduced. Okay, well, we'll cloak that off in 45 seconds when my cloak's available again. Anyways, Chromaggus, please give me a Chrominius. Yes! Look at that. There we go. Our luck's turning around. We got the good one. Primalist linked leg guards, empowered leggings, Dragonstalker shoulders. There we go. Whistle of Chromatic Bone. Boom. That gives you the Chrominius battle pet. There he is. Very good pet. Increasing the damage they take by 100% for 2 rounds, and then you can combo that with Surge of Power. Pretty strong battle pet. Good for battling. Okay, and that locks it in for the pet prediction. We did get a total of 2 pets in this Blackwing Lair. Paying that out, and let's just finish up the Nefarian, and then we'll go to Karazhan. We can actually do just all these raids super quick, just knocking out the pets. I think, this is my theory, right now it's the pre-patch. There's not much for a lot of people to do, so pretty much everyone is farming all these old raids every single week. I think when Mists of Pandaria comes out, a lot of the battle pets that are just like plummeting in price right now, I think a lot of them will go up in price. Because people will be interested in doing the Mists of Pandaria stuff. They won't be doing all this old raid content so much anymore. So the supply is going to dry up, is going to be much less once Mists of Pandaria proper is out. That's my theory. Heard something that they cranked the drop rates up here. Are you talking about maybe the thing they did on retail? Where I think they called it Collector's Bounty. Where they just made like a bunch of old mounts and rare items. They made them be like way higher drop rate temporarily.
How they contend with the true lord of Blackrock's spire. Burn, you wretched.
You need gear and some skill. You do not need... Okay, there. I think of all the pet battle bosses, it's like Twin Emperors. You need some gear. And Naxxramas bosses, you need some gear. All the other ones I can do at... I have another rogue who's at 322 item level. I can do them on that character. 322 is miserable gear. Boosted characters get 359. So I would say no, you do not need gear or skill to do the majority of these bosses. I disagree with that statement. Twin Emps is a hard one. The Naxxramas ones are hard. If you want to kill Kael'thas, but that one's also a little bit hard. But Kael'thas isn't a pet, doesn't drop a battle pet. I would say those are the hard ones. Outside of those, it's extremely easy. Council in Black Temple is hard also, but none of the bosses in Black Temple drop battle pets. None of those are pet battle dropping bosses. Alright, Nefarian is down. What can we get? 272 gold. Double Netherwind. Hate to see it. Hydralic armor, Storm Rage cover, Gray Sack, Boots of the Shadow Flame, Hyperion. Ooh, Prestor's Talisman. That's a nice item. Alright, Hearthstone to Dalaran. Last thing we're gonna do to speed farm You know, I mean, maybe we could add in a Tempest Keep and SSC at the end of this. But I was originally just planning to do MC, BWL, AQ, Karazhan. Karazhan is what we're going to now. I mean, my opinion is like, man, if I can do this at a absolutely miserable gear level of like 322 item level, then like, you know, a player who's maybe not as skilled or aware of what they're doing or whatever as me, like, can certainly do it at 350. Like, this just like, that much of an item level difference is a huge power change on the character and allows you to make so many gameplay mistakes and still be successful if you have that much more character power. I suppose I ought to learn that recipe. Bloodfang Gloves, Fallen Crusader, Stylene's Impeding Scarab. Alright, open up the Sack of Gems. Sack of Gems. Learn this Battle Pet. Send mail to Simon Bank. Never mind. Blasted Boy is my enchanter. 2, 3, 4. Oh, the ingot can go to Simon Bank. And then I just don't bother selling these gems in the gem bags. Like, yeah, maybe I could get a couple gold for each one, but they're so common, you get undercut a lot. It's pretty obnoxious even trying to sell them. So I just vendor them. Simon Bank can get these two also. Okay, I'm making sure to clear the inventory out because Karazhan is going to drop a lot of work, a lot of loot. So I want as much inventory space available as I can. There aren't any legs for Monk from vendor. Only option is crafted from leatherworking. Right, the two best options are the Blade Shadow leggings that are 397 item level. Crafted, rather expensive. They're going for about 6,000 to 8,000 gold on my server. Second best is there's a 378 leg that drops in the Well of Eternity dungeon. What's your head transmog? Oh, simple. It's just the Red Defias mask. Never mind. It's Blood Drenched Mask. This is from Zul'Gurub, I guess. You can't get that anymore. Are you allowed to transmog the Red Defias mask if you have that, or is that like a non-transmog item? Oh yeah, third option would be PvP pants. That's actually a pretty good option. It's crazy that it's not Cursed Vision of Sargeras. Brother! Don't get me started, dude. We've soloed that raid. Actually, we've only soloed that raid like 2 or 3 times. But I did it a lot of times in TBC and never got it. Oh, PvP, right, because there's no, yeah, you're right, sorry. There's no PvP set for monks. So yeah, there is no PvP option for monks on legs. It is just those two I mentioned, the crafted ones at 397 eye level and the 378s from Well of Eternity. Okay, so there are a lot of bosses in this raid. And if you want to go through and kill them all, you can. Like the one over here, it drops a mount, but I'm just trying to go fast. This is a big dungeon, so I'm not trying to go kill every single thing we possibly can. I'm trying to do the minimum necessary to get the battle pet drops. So refresh my poisons, and with that in mind, the first goal is Moroes. You have to kill Moroes to be able to access the Opera event. So that's why we're here. Otherwise, we'd be walking past him. Mount boss? Screw the mount boss. I already got that mount. Already got the Fiery Warhorse's reins. This boss drops Mongoose, which is a Mongoose formula for an enchanter. which is nice. Monks use that while they're leveling up, so you can make a okay amount of gold usually selling mongoose scrolls. When the pre-patch hit and everyone was making monks, you could make a huge amount of gold, but that opportunity has passed. The massive spike in demand for mongoose scrolls has passed. Any cool transmogs in here? I assume so. I mean, there's a lot of loot that drops in here, so certainly there's some good stuff. Just zooming through here. Alright, hang on. We gotta do... I forgot to set up the prediction. Start prediction. How many battle pets do we get in Karazhan? There's up to 4 in this one. So, hang on. I'm just gonna open this one and say... 1, 2, 3, and then if we get Big Bad Wolf, there's a potential to get all 4. But one of them is Big Bad Wolf. Let's see which one we get. And if we don't get Big Bad Wolf, I'll just knock it down and only have up to 3. Yeah, okay, that's Big Bad Wolf, I think. Okay. Prediction is up for 0 through 4. 0 through 4 battle pets. Skipping Huntsman? Yeah, I already got the amount. Already got that amount. All the times I've ran Karazhan, I haven't even gotten Big Bad Wolf to spawn. It's always been Romeo or Wizard of Oz. So, I will lock the prediction when we kill Big Bad Wolf. Or, sorry, like right before we loot it. Okay, so get your points in now. There's a pet that drops from Big Bad Wolf. There's one that drops from Curator. There's one that drops from Terestian Illhoof, the Satyr boss. And there's one that drops from the final boss, Prince Malchezaar. So potential of 4 pets here. What big ears you have. What big eyes you have. Oh, grandmother, what fat loots you have. Big Bad Wolf.
The better to own you with.
Oh, no! Can I cloak that off? You are vulnerable to the Big Bad Wolf. Alright, well, I'm just running around then. Romulo? What do you mean, Romulo? Doesn't the Lil Bad Wolf drop from this guy? Not Romulo? Oh, I said Romeo, and yeah, the NPC in here is called Romulo. Oh, no, it did the thing again. Okay, yeah, I'm just not super paying attention, to be completely honest. What is this? Picnic basket smell. Chasing Little Red Riding Hood. Okay, debuff is gone. We're back in. Okay. Alright. What are we thinking? What are we thinking? 1 battle pet is the leading prediction right now. We have some believers on 0. Some believers on 4. Okay. We're not going to dilly-dally for too long. I'm trying to put up an impressive time clearing all these raids. So, let's lock it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wait, I'm in the wrong menu. There. End submissions. 54% think we're going to get only 1 battle pet in this run. Let's see. Everyone's locked in. Prediction is closed. Badge of Justice. Big Bad Wolf's Paw. Beast. Bro, I swear to God, dude, is this not even a... This isn't even a 100% drop off of him. God damn it. Yeah, like, he doesn't even spawn. He only spawns, like, 1/3 of the time, because there's other random events you can get, and then the pet, apparently, isn't even a 100% drop. That's so tilting. It better be, like, 50% at least. Alright, anyways, we're zooming to Curator now. Parsed with the with the 4 pet prediction already out of the game. Unlucky. I mean, you dream big, and you know, you dream big, you win big, but sometimes you lose. I'm just hoping we prove all the... I'm just hoping that the 0 predictors that think we're not going to get any battle pets, I'm just hoping that they lose. Okay? I also think this is a really good way to do the pet predictions when we're doing these old raids. I think it's fun. Because, like, everyone puts their stake in at the start. And then, like, people fall off as we go through the raid and, get unlucky. Hello, Curator. 2 stacks, 3 stacks armor debuff. These bosses don't hurt me very much, so I'm not really prioritizing recuperate. Alright, I've never looted the one off of Curator before. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. JK, maybe next week. And by next week, I mean maybe we get it on the next character. Is Karazhan a walk-in and blast raid? Or are there any mechanics to watch for? It's pretty much walk-in and blast. Alright, let's see if I can drop line of sight and then vanish. Yep, okay, so that reset them. Ah, this guy is fighting me. Bitch ass. Oh yeah, chess is an issue. Chess is the most annoying part of this one. For sure. Nether Spite is actually kind of fun. You just go in the back and let him triple beam you and you get all the buffs. But like, he doesn't drop a battle pet, so I kind of don't care. Alright, here comes the next battle pet boss. Can I just skip these imps? Yoink. Yes, I can, it seems. Alright, he's dead. Easy peasy. Badge of Justice, Lightning Capacitor, Malefic Girdle. That's another miss. There's only one potential pet left in the instance. I'm waiting for my stealth cooldown. There we go. Alright, skip Shade of Iran. Without a dagger main hand? Yeah, we're using Hemorrhage. So we don't have to have a dagger. If you were doing subtlety in a raid or dungeon, you would want to be backstabbing. But backstab requires you to be behind the target, and you can't really do that. Toshmit redeemed for a change hat. Okay. Alright, if you want to go Nether Spite, he's up there. But we're going this way. How many hats do you have? Too many. Too many. Wow, I really didn't loot that much. I thought I was going to loot a lot more. But I guess when you only kill the bosses and don't kill a single trash mob, I guess you don't loot very much.
Hey there. See you
Alright.
later.
So, this is how I like to do chess. When you're solo. Control the king to start it. Wait for your debuff to go away.
Can I help
Then control footmen, move up 2 spaces. I'm going to move up the first 2 footmen 2 spaces each. The queen's pawn and the king's pawn.
Sounds fine.
As soon as you move it, you can dismiss. And you go over here. The thing is, the pieces, they will do attacks without you controlling them, but they won't move without you controlling them. So you just have to get them into a position that's that allows them to function.
Sounds fine.
There. Next, I want to move the priests. I'm just going to move each priest 1 square diagonally forward.
How are you? See you later.
Done. These guys are healers, so they'll help heal those footmen, and they'll help heal these water elementals. We're going to move them next.
Hello. Have a good one.
There. Done. Next, it's water elementals. With the hound over here, I'll go for this one first, getting him into position. Can I do this? Yeah, wow, okay, I can do that. So we'll go 1 space like that, and then we'll move forward to here. He's moving. Let him be. These are like the big heavy hitters, big damage dealer pieces. Other water elemental. There. Same thing with this one.
Yes, of course.
There. Now, the king has moved, enemy king has moved just a little bit forward. So I think we're good to control our queen. And basically we're just going to stay on this piece for the rest of the fight. Has very long ranged attacks. And we're just going to turret the king piece. Can you do Viscidus on the paladin as well? Yep, all the old raids I can do on all the characters. All the pets. Why do you have to click twice? What am I clicking twice? So the way this is set up, these water elementals are auto-attacking. They're like using their ability. And the priests are going to heal stuff. Oh, he just spawned fire, so we'll move out of the fire. Then just continue blasting the Warchief Blackhand. Solo Twin Emps on the Rogue. Yep, we just did it today. On the 390 item level Rogue, without legendary daggers.
Interesting.
What spec? That was using Subtlety. I recommend Subtlety for all the Rogue solos. So, this encounter in particular is why I don't run Karazhan on every character every week. Because, frankly, it's just really annoying. It's really annoying. Oh, shit, my queen is almost dead. So I'm gonna back off. And then go control a different piece. Hopefully the priests will heal him up a little bit.
Hello.
I don't know. Maybe it'd have been better to just stay on that guy until he was dead. But whatever. You can go on the knight. Oh. No, it spun my character right as I was about to click. I was trying to click to go over here, but I think this thing attacked me, which auto-turned my character right the moment before I clicked on the move button. Yeah, the king automatically uses his buff. You don't have to be controlling the king to buff the other pieces. The way this works is the pieces will use their attacks and their abilities, if they're in range to do so, automatically. But they won't move automatically. So, you have to get them into position to use a good ability. A lot of people are telling me in chat, and like, whoever just whispered me in game, please don't use the stream chat. Please, if you want to communicate with me, please use the stream chat. Do not whisper me in game to try to get special attention from me. It's just use the stream chat.
Yes.
That guy's dead. Human Conjurer has been healed up. So we'll go back on him.
Necessary alternative scenario.
How are you? A good one.
And we can go back to blasting the boss. Our Human Conjurer is healed up a little bit. Send message in guild chat. There we go. He's down. It's pretty annoying. But there we go. Ring of Recurrence, Battle Scar Boots. Now we can go to the last boss, Prince Malchezaar. King Lane Burning. I mean, the burning doesn't do that much damage. I don't think it's really necessary to, like, switch your piece control to, like, move the king out of the fire. You can just let the priests heal him and keep him in the back line, and then he's totally fine. Alright, last guy, Prince Malchezaar. Yeah, chess just takes a long time. It's not hard. It's not, like, that complicated, but it just takes a long time and is annoying. And I can't overpower it by having good gear. It still just takes a long time. Alright, we want the Nether Space Abyssal off of this guy. That's what he drops. You can see all the macros on the Discord, Kiwix. Okay. We did do 4 raids really quick. 1:15 is what my timer's at right now. Badge of Justice, Farstrider, Wilder Cloak, Helm of the Fallen Hero, Malchezaar. Ooh, that's a transmog. And no pet. Do we come out of here with 0 pets? Oh my god. We missed the Big Bad Wolf. We missed the Curator. We missed the Imp pet. And we missed... Yeah, we got actual 0. That's an 0 for 4. How many battle pets do we get in Kara? Literally 0. Literally 0. Oh, boy. Yeah, so I would say the only boss we did in all 4 of these raids that's hard is Twin Emperors. Every other one, pretty easy. Pretty easy. Let's Hearthstone out.